Y'all know what it is, your boy PGB Kannon, HP shit. Y'all just tuned in to F.A.M.E TV.
Philly fan. Philly fan.
Team niggas changed, I'm most close with. On some whole shit. So much pain, I almost dropped a tear when I wrote this. Be careful who you close to. Cause them same niggas you smoke with, smoke you. Go on IG then post you. I'm tired of pitting RIP to my niggas. Cause growing up, all I cared for was me and my niggas. This shit is sad when I don't even wanna chill with my niggas. How you my nigga if you that nigga who killing my nigga? I think too much when I'm sober, that's why I can't even drink too much. If I don't see you pull my liquor, I'm not sipping in that cup cause I'm cautious. They got hidden agendas. When they see a star player, they just want you to get injured. They say I got a temper, but that's what these niggas lacking. With 16, spitting 16s way before rapping. I'm getting calls from my homies like this jail shit is whack. I'm trying to sign before they touch to make sure they don't go back. This shit is deeper than rap, especially when you black. The cops will stop you in the suburbs and assume that you trapped. What type of bullshit is that? I've been at bull where I'm at, and I ain't had to sell no drugs just to say that I'm that. My niggas stuck in the trap. I'm trying to cut them chains. There's a lot of niggas pussies without saying their name. Just know we not the same. Yourself is who you should blame. And you don't even go to strip clubs to be making it rain. Family, not your family, that's just a 6-letter word. My homie turned his back on blood and found his shit on the curve. I keep a positive vibe, just know I almost died. I guess I'm here for a reason, cause I believe in a God. Gang shit. PGB. Y'all know what it is.
Alright, what's going on with you, good brother? First and foremost, man, got started off like that.
I'm working, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to do. I think I'm working, you know what I'm saying? I'm putting that shit in, y'all just gotta see it. That's what I'm doing, I'm working.
Right. So what we've been doing as of late, know what I mean? We on a little campaign, I mean, basically calling it something along the lines of like a F.A.M.E Freshman Campaign Edition, where we featuring like new artists and stuff that's on the come up that we think got some potential that people probably should know about. Know what I mean? And you're not necessarily a new artist, know what I mean? But you might be new to the people that's tuned in. Like, you've been around, you've been putting work in, but everybody may not be familiar with you. So we're gonna give them a little background on you so you get to know you a little bit, know what I mean, as far as like your story and all that, then we'll get to the music. So we in HP right now, we live from the HP, know what I mean? And this where you originally from, know what I mean? So for the people that don't know, who ain't really too familiar, know what I mean, just give them a brief rundown on what it's like growing up around this environment.
Basically, I'm from Hunting Park, like you said, Hunting Park. That's, if y'all don't know where that's at, that's right across Area Ave. Like, they basically a block apart to separate the bridge, but from Hunting Park, I've been going at it for at least 10 strong. To y'all, I might be new, but I say I'm just under the radar, but that's how it works sometimes, so just gotta keep working till you get past that. But basically I'm from Hunting Park, born and raised here, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just ready to turn up, you know what I'm saying? I feel as though I was under the radar for a reason, but now it's like there's no reason why I should be. Like, I'm listening to what I'm listening to, and I'm an artist, so I know what's hot and what's not. And there's a lot of stuff that's getting slipped by, but I understand it, but I don't understand it, so I'm gonna just keep working till y'all understand it with me. So we gonna keep working together. Like he says, the freshman class, but far from a freshman. But y'all gonna see that, trust me, y'all gonna see that.
Right. So yeah, like let's dig into, like I was saying, your background a little bit. Let's give them a little bit about your childhood, what it was like growing up, what your childhood was like.
It was rough. Like, I know y'all hear that a lot. Like, it was rough. Like, single parent home, 3 brothers. Mom gotta take care of all 3 of us. Like, it's either you gonna play ball or sell drugs. And I played ball, eventually I stopped growing, so it's either was drugs or I just found a different outlet, so I went straight to rap. Like, all my other friends went to drugs, so I basically was kind of the motherfucker that was who they looked up to get them out the hood. Like, everybody else was just trapped out, and everybody was backing me like, yo, oh, you got this music shit, or you gotta get us out of here. It either was that or straight to the block with it. And my mom said, don't go to the block. I just listened to it, but that's the only one I had to listen to. Dad wasn't there. Big brother was already on the block, so I took the good route. I could say that, positive route.
Alright, so that's interesting because you don't really hear that too much, especially from like rappers or just young boys, know what I mean, or young black men from the inner city period, know what I mean. You don't really hear too much. You more so hear them glorify, like, yeah, I was in the streets, I was trapping, blah blah blah. So what was it that ultimately, because I know you was around people, you around the element, so what was it that made you stay on that path and stay out the way and stay on some positive type time?
It came from who I was surrounded with. It was, like I said, everybody was selling drugs, but
they old heads was like drug dealers. Like my old head was like actually my oldest brother, best friend, and he used to actually, people start selling drugs basically to get money. But he used to pay me not to sell drugs. Like he'd be like, yo, you alright? I'm like, no, I'm fucked up. He'd be like, alright, man, like, you know what I'm saying, you need some bread? I'm like, yeah, I'm fucked up. So he'd pay me just to not sell drugs. So he basically kept me out the hood. That's why I hate when motherfuckers see my old head. Old heads don't always gotta be drug dealers, man. There's some motherfuckers out there that want you to go in the right direction. Like, and if you think going the drug route, that shit ain't your old head. Cause if you get a case, that shit gonna get hard for you the rest of your life. Real shit. And it got hard for all my niggas. They can't get good jobs and none of that shit. But that shit got real bad for them. So after I saw what they was getting into, I said, I'm gonna stick to what I'm doing.
Nah, for real though, that's facts. So being though you was on a positive route, what type student was you? Was you a good student in school? How was that for you?
I wasn't a good student. I had a temper. As far as grades but I was the person that was getting like A and a 3. Like back then it was like you get a rate and
the behavior. Yeah.
I was getting an A but getting a 3, and my mom like, how the hell you getting 3s if you getting A? I just had a temper problem, so teacher couldn't tell me nothing, but I was passing tests. But at the end of the day, I lost that shit now, but it's still, you can still get hear it in my music. It's like that's why I started rapping, for ventilation, get that shit out, because I had a crazy temper. But I was an awesome student. Like, it just, as far as high school, I couldn't really go through with that shit because my mom didn't want me to go to grad, so I had to go way up to Lincoln. I wasn't taking that trip every day. That was like an hour and some change, so I had to wake up early, take that trip. I wasn't trying to do that every day, so eventually school ain't worked the way I wanted to. I graduated, but it wasn't no college after that. I just had to, you know what I'm saying, make her happy what I did. So after that, it was straight back to the rap.
Okay. So fast forward, you know what I mean? Like you say you did like 10 strong far as putting in the time and the work. So explain like the process over that period of time with try and build your name, try and build your wave, you know what I mean, independently, really try and network and get yourself out there. Explain what that process has been like for you over these last years you've been grinding.
It was hard, and it still is hard. When I first started, I was more so DVDs, headshots, and the touch money, all that. So it was more so you looking at DVDs and you don't even know who yourself is yet. You trying to kind of fit in. Like a lot of rappers you might hear sound the same because they more so trying to fit in, doing what they doing. That's why I never jumped on the DVD, because I'm like, I don't really know where my sound is yet to even jump on here and try to sound like a Joey Jihad, an NH. Like, I'm gonna sound like I'm mimicking. So until I found who myself was, I really was playing the background. But everybody was keep saying, hop on this, hop on that. Even DVDs was reaching out to me. But it just, personally, I was like, I don't even think that's my sound. Because it's sound, if I hear similarity too much, I'm like, that's not my sound. So I couldn't rock with that. So until I found my sound, my sound and got comfortable, which was maybe 3 to 4 years later, that's when I felt comfortable enough to go full throttle. But the first 4 years whipping my 10, I wasn't really confident. It just was more so looking, seeing what everybody else like. Oh yeah, I could do that. So it was more so copying. So that's all it really was. But coming on to what's going on now, I got my own sound. Like, my own sound. Like, there's nobody you gonna hear sound like, trust me.
Okay. And more recent time, I mean, you was featured on DJ K Slay radio show or whatever.
Right.
So speak a little bit on that.
That was a situation that actually got put together from a good friend, Mike Knox. Basically, he saw me perform at a Casanova showcase. It was I'm So Brooklyn. And it was a lot of performances going on, but everybody else was like, it wasn't Philly, but everybody else sounded like they had the Atlanta sound. So my sound stood out. He was like, that sound like some raw Philly shit I fuck with. I'm gonna do this favor for you and all that. I said, all right, good looking. So I didn't believe him at first. You know, when motherfuckers talk, you just be like, oh, I hear you. But he really went through with it and pushed that envelope, and he did what he said he was gonna do. So definitely shout out to Mike Knox.
Alright. So what was the experience like, going from grinding out here heavy, trying to make your name, and then you get a little oop like that from somebody in Philly to get on a New York station with a legend like K Slay? Now I'm quite sure you was familiar with him beforehand, so what was it like, just the experience to be able to do that?
It was, believe it or not, it was peer pressure. He made it peer pressure when I went up there, just off of, yeah, you got Siegel came up here, such and such came up here, the Young Guns, like, he put pressure on me. He ain't just had me up there comfortable like I deserved to be up nowhere. Like, he heard a track or two, but he wanted to hear, like, bars. He like, you sure you want to rap? I'm like, yeah, like, I ain't come just to talk. He like, all right, you sure? Because this shit live. I'm like, man, we gonna do it. And after I got done, he definitely is impressed. So if I made him happy, I feel as though I accomplished something, because he an important motherfucker in the industry. He done saw a lot of artists come up there and leave. And he even told me there's a lot of people that came up there with their manager and said, yo, just don't make my artist rap. So me just rapping for him and him approving of it, I appreciate that. So, yeah, I was nervous at first, but once I started rapping, all that went out the window.
All right, so Benzo, like you said, you've been sitting back watching like the DVD era, but you ain't necessarily participated in it. And then fast forward, at some point in time, you say when you found like your sound and your wave, you decided to jump out there. So Benzo, you've seen how the Philly music scene transition from the DVD era to the new like Instagram, social media, SoundCloud era. Like, what's your thoughts on how Philly changed into the new generation it is at now? Like,
It changed a lot. Like, it changed for me personally. I think it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Everything can't stay the same. So like in time, you gotta adapt. So it changed. It changed for good for me because, believe it or not, everybody didn't want to hear what we were spitting 10 years ago, whatever. Like, they wanted to hear the growth, but even if it wasn't about the bars and the metaphor, they wanted to hear some type of growth. They didn't want to stay on that same sound. That's why they kept saying Philly got their own sound. So with the convert over what they doing now, I like it a lot. I like it. I like the energy behind it. I like the movement they got behind it. I like it.
all right. So how you think you fit in, Benzo? It's a new wave. I mean, it's a new era, a lot of new young artists. It ain't too many guys from the DVD era that was able to transition into this new era. Like, a lot of them didn't make it. Like, it's only like maybe a handful like that's still around. So how do you think you fit into this new wave right now?
I think I fit in good. Just cause my sound not based off of, like, it's not based off of your everyday. My sound got a message in everything I say. Like, a little bar, you can find a message that'll help in the long run. So a lot of people that do like the new wave rappers, they kind of like the flashy rappers. So I feel as though if I can stick to myself, like I told you earlier, I ain't had to sell drugs, but there's a lot more people that didn't sell drugs, but they're not gonna tell you that in their music. They're gonna shadow that. So if I stay to myself and spit how what's real to me and how I feel and what I went through, it's always gonna connect, because there's always somebody out there that went through the same thing or is going through that same situation with friends that's doing this. And I'm saying, no, you don't gotta do that to enjoy yourself. Do this. Listen to your old head that said not do that. Don't listen to the one that said do this. I got a couple dollars for you. It takes time, so everything ain't gonna come overnight. So you gotta wait that shit out.
No, facts, right. All right, man. So now we in 2020. Know what I mean? In the mix of the coronavirus pandemic. Know what I mean? In the mix of all these homicides happening in the city. Know what I mean? Women getting killed, pregnant women, little kids. Like, what's your thoughts on what's going on in the city right now?
It's just scary. Like, I'm gonna keep it real with you. It's so scary. Like, earlier I walked up. This how scary. I walked up to the course earlier, and like, I don't got nothing to hide, none of that. But I walked up to the course earlier, and I know everybody up here, but it's so weird out here. I walked up here with my chain tucked in, cause you never know what to expect now. Everybody is looking for a come up. Like, you gotta forget all that. I'm not tucking my chain. I'm that man. Look, you gotta be smart out this joint. Like, people, they broke as shit. There's a lot of people that's not right now from PUA, but when that shit leave, they right back to what they was doing.
They just canceled it. And that you mentioned, I think that shit just expired. I think like.
So it's people still, they about to get back to and they doing this with the pandemic out right now. You're not even supposed to really be outside, so they catching wreck when we not even supposed to be what we is right now. Like, clubs not open like that, and people still getting killed in front of clubs. That's, man, it's getting scary out here. That's all I can say. Be safe. Like, move smart. Like, all that, I'm a goon. Man, move smart out this joint. Like, real shit, especially the people that got kids. You got something to live for. All that shit ain't worth it. I got a daughter. I ain't trying to be out here slipping. Definitely getting bad in Philly. So my advice to y'all: stay safe, move smart. That's it. Like,
no, facts. Anything else you want to let them know? You ain't get a chance to let them know. Anything you want to speak on or address or clarify, whatever.
Yeah, my CD just dropped. Is on iTunes now. It's called "Are You Signed Yet?" You can put in PGB Kannon. Are You Signed Yet? Well, AYSY, and it just dropped. I got a lot of features on there, from Priceless to Mike Knox to Sasha P to Curly Bam. Like, there's a lot of features on there, so y'all gonna like it. It's something for the ladies, clubs, all that. Other than that, tune in, follow me. I follow back. Just get in tune with what I'm doing. Trust me, y'all gonna like it.